Have you booked that trip to Ireland yet? Press the green button and visit the island of Ireland. See Ireland.com.
Eurogold is driven by being the best civil engineering contractor in the Northwest, ensuring its clients are given the highest level of service that they deserve. Eurogold work in a wide range of industry sectors, including house building, highways, commercial and industrial build.
La Vita is an award-winning, independently run Italian restaurant. Located on Rose Lane in the heart of Liverpool, real Italian-style dishes, using the best ingredients, skillfully prepared by our chefs. Come and try our serious Italian experience.
The Warrington Irish Club, a friendly and welcoming club keeping the Irish culture alive. We have Irish and country music every Saturday night, tribute nights, race nights, charity nights and karaoke. All live sports are shown on big screens. We have snooker, dominoes and crown green bowling teams along with arts and craft. Pop in for a friendly welcome and book your event at the Warrington Irish Club. Give Frank a call on 01925 243 363.
Mulligan's Funeral and Monumental Services are a family-owned funeral service first established by the late Brian Mulligan in 1996. We provide funeral homes in Gorton, Manchester and Reddish Stockport, and we pride ourselves on giving a friendly and professional service to all the families who use our service. Contact us on 0161 432 0809.
Founded in Kilkenny, Ireland in 1702, but lost on a bet on a horse race in Deauville, France, 1918. Sullivan's was re-established a few years ago by direct descendants of two great Kilkenny brewing families, the Smithicks and the Sullivans. We're about to embark on our own journey across the United Kingdom. But this time, we won't bet the brewery. Sullivan's. Brewing is in our blood.
Press the green button and visit the island of Ireland. See Ireland.com.
Hello and welcome to the Irish in the UK. This week we'll be meeting Margaret and Kevin Corrigan, and they'll be telling us a story about their son Shane, who sadly passed away in 2018. But first, we're off to meet North London Shamrocks GAA Club, who play in the London Senior Championship and Football League Division 1. They're a very forward-thinking club who are making great progress with their underage and adult teams. Patrick, tell me a little bit about your involvement with North London Shamrocks GAA.
Yeah, so Martin, I was one of the founding members. Originally I used to play for two of the clubs that amalgamated to form the North London Shamrocks. So we were formed in 2005 and I've been player, manager and now the chairman for the club.
Now I know that you were a manager, I think, at a very successful time.
Yeah, 2014 we won the intermediate championship and went up to senior, and yeah, we'd won a couple of cups that year. We got to the All Britain final, so we'd quite a successful year, and it was a big step for the club. We'd been trying for a while to get up to senior, and yeah, now that we've got there, it's established us in London GAA.
Well, you've got a good clubhouse now. I know you're still working on it, but you've got fantastic changing rooms and showers in there.
Yeah, we luckily had the opportunity through Enfield Council to go for the lease on the clubhouse, and that just gave us really a bit of ownership in terms of being able to develop it and improve the facilities, and I guess invest in it as well. You know, we obviously have younger teams, we've got girls teams now as well.
Pete, tell me about your involvement here with North London Shamrocks GA Club.
Yes, so I'm on the committee here for the North London Shamrocks down here in North London. We're based in Tottenham Hall Grounds and Palmer's Green. Fantastic Irish club based here in North London.
How long have you been involved?
So I only joined the committee last year, and my role pretty much is to get the media side involved, because where I do work on the radio and now obviously today with yourself on the TV, it's just to get that influence out there and get the club out more recognised around the city and around the nation as well.
Well, absolutely. It's a great way, of course, of promoting your club as well and getting new players.
100%, and I'm hoping today, after people see this on the TV, they think, wow, North London Shamrocks, I only live around the corner, maybe I can join up and join in. I think we're talking kids from 7 years old all the way up to the seniors, so it'd be lovely to get anybody who involved and get them cracking on with the North London Shamrocks.
The club has its roots in London for over 20 years, and we are an amalgamation of St Teresa's and Shannon Rovers, and we joined clubs together in about 18 years ago, and the North London Shamrocks was formed, and it's gone from strength to strength.
Of course, that was a really good idea, because if you bring two, let's say maybe smaller clubs together and you bind them together and they can work together, that's really good.
Yeah, that's right, and it has been really, really good, and the founding members are still with the club. We're now competing at the highest level, the senior club member, senior team and reserves. Got great players, really strength. Actually, they're training tonight, so you might get to see some of them in action.
Peter, tell me about your involvement here with the club.
Well, I would have started. I came over about 3.5 years ago as a player, just mainly. So I'm still trying to play a bit and involved in the senior management along with Michael here, but also kind of coaching administrator and involved with under 15s as well.
Yeah, of course, coming from Donegal, I'm sure that you played quite a bit of football at home.
My home club would have been St Michael's there. I was just home for a week, so started my career there and would have played a bit for Donegal, underage level and senior as well.
Now that's really good to have an Irish coach, we'll say, coaching these under 15s, because, you know, if you played at home, you're that bit better, aren't you?
Well, I suppose you pick up different things from all the managers and the coaches that would have helped us as we were growing up, and then anything we can bring over here and help the club, you know, is an advantage to them, I suppose. In the local clubs at home, you've maybe only GA and maybe a couple of boys who play a bit of soccer, but you've a lot of different activities and sports here which you're competing with, so it's trying to keep them at fun and engaging so that they're, you know, but I think there is definitely a, you know, they want to cling to that Irish heritage when they're over here as well, the parents and the children as well, you know.
And Michael, of course, you're a senior manager. How is the team doing these days?
Yeah, we're doing okay. Our league season has just started a number of weeks ago, so we got off to a good start and we got our first one. So we've got another 6 or 7 games now in the next 8 to 9 weeks, and then we'll move into our championship in August time. So things have been going well, preparations have been going well, and we're starting to, you know, gather a good team, and we're hoping to just put our best foot forward for the season, you know, and try and compete with the bigger teams in London. There's a massive effort put in with underage in the club, and there was 3 or 4 players that have come through now to the senior ranks. So there's 3 or 4 of them would have played over the last 2 or 3 seasons, and then there'll be a mixture of guys from Ireland as well. So we have a strong Donegal connection here, between myself and Peter and a few other guys that have been here over the years. We've got a couple of boys from Sligo, we have a couple of guys from Galway as well, and a couple of boys from Dublin. So just a mixture really of people that are moving to the area. You know, we're open to anybody coming to North London or anybody coming to London. We're always keen to get people involved here. GA was central to my life, you know, for a long time, and it was just it was a brilliant experience for me. And now when we move over here, you know, we just want to pass on that experience to the young players in the club, and also the players that we bring in to play with the senior team as well.
Good. 1 point pass. I came here just nearly 30 years ago now to this country. I've been working in the construction work and have 2 boys playing here for North London Shamrocks, one under 17, one plays under 15 who's playing a match tonight. I've been involved with the club probably 12 years, 13 years involved with the club.
So how did you first get involved?
Just when the boys got like 6-7 years of age, just looking to keep up the tradition of Gaelic football, and they were made to watching it on TV, and they were made to get going at it. The youngest lad is training quite regular, a couple of times a week, and loves it. The other lad is doing his GCSEs at the moment, so he's used to train all the time, but he had to. His mother won't let him out so often now to train.
Are the Mayo supporters?
Oh, they are, yeah. One of them is having tries for London at the moment, so hopefully he'll get on the London team.
Yeah, well, the London team has been doing really good, haven't they, this last couple of years?
Yeah, they're doing good now. They've had a good year this year.
We've been very lucky over the years, and everyone's always been generous. A lot of local companies in the community. Every time we've got a fundraising event that comes around, they're always very quick to put their hands in their pocket, and it is really appreciated, because I don't think even themselves they realise that it is the lifeblood of the club. In each event we tend to have, it's the same people that come back, which is obviously really, really appreciated. We sort of run memberships, so we've got various ways of generating income, and a lot of it now we've been trying to put back into the development of the youth through coaching, and people like Peter Witherow, Michael Boyle now head up the development of the youth side, so to improve the coaching and to bring those younger players through, so that hopefully they'll represent the seniors one day.
Pete, tell me a little bit about London Irish.
So, Martin, I set up the London Irish group about 2-3 years ago, basically to get all the companies, football clubs, local Irish people and the community together here in London, just to be focused on one thing, and to get people speaking and talking, which is great because it gets a lot of the businesses, small businesses, Irish businesses, football clubs, construction companies, all amalgamating and chatting in the one area, which is fantastic for the Irish community here in London. A lot of older people have actually started to realise the best way to stay in contact is to go on Facebook, so they get their sons and daughters, or maybe their nephews and nieces, to add them up, set them up with an email address, and get them on Facebook. And once they're on Facebook, they're like, wow, look at all these old people that I haven't spoken to for years. They're back chatting and having a good laugh with all their old London Irish people. I've started the Repeat podcast series recently. I haven't launched it yet. What we're doing is speaking to influential Irish people, chatting and getting some conversations going, because at the moment I'm doing work on the BBC, BBC Radio London, BBC Radio 5 Live, and they give me the opportunity to set my own podcast up, which is great. So they said to stick with the Irish theme, and that's exactly what I'm planning to do. I've already interviewed a couple of influential Irish people, and the plan is to do a couple more, and then once they get to a certain point, I'm going to do a launch and see where that goes.
We've actually got 2 girls teams, under 12s and under 14s, actually, and under 16s, and a lot of those girls are playing through into senior and up to London, which is really good. And then we've got a youth section from under 5s, 7s, 9s, 11s, 13s, 15s and under 17s. So it's very good, very, very strong. We've got about 100 plus.
How difficult is it now to get young children involved here in North London in the GAA?
Well, actually, it's not difficult at all. It's, as I say, in the last 5 to 6 years, GAA throughout London has just boomed. It's absolutely massive, and you can see the results when you get the All Britain competition in Greenford. You get 3,000 to 4,000 children playing over a weekend. So yeah, it's absolutely massive. It's really, really going well.
We're based here in Tottenhall Road in the Wood Green area of North London. Get in touch with one of the committee members, myself and Michael. If you're looking to play senior or reserve football, we'll probably be the best man to chat to. As Michael said, it's a great way for people that are coming over from Ireland to sort of network and settle in.
North London Shamrocks GAA are a thriving club with a lovely clubhouse and a wonderful underage setup. And if you live in North London, why not go along and join the club? Now we're going to take a little break. Don't go away. When we return, we'll be meeting Margaret and Kevin Corrigan.
Have you booked that trip to Ireland yet? Press the green button and visit the island of Ireland. See Ireland.com.
Eurogold is driven by being the best civil engineering contractor in the North West, ensuring its clients are given the highest level of service that they deserve. Eurogold work in a wide range of industry sectors, including house building, highways, commercial and industrial build.
La Vita is an award-winning, independently run Italian restaurant. Located on Rose Lane in the heart of Liverpool, real Italian-style dishes, using the best ingredients, skillfully prepared by our chefs. Come and try our serious Italian experience.
The Warrington Irish Club, a friendly and welcoming club keeping the Irish culture alive. We have Irish and country music every Saturday night, tribute nights, race nights, charity nights and karaoke. All live sports are shown on big screens. We have snooker, dominoes and crown green bowling teams along with arts and craft. Pop in for a friendly welcome and book your event at the Warrington Irish Club. Give Frank a call on 01925 243 363.
Mulligan's Funeral and Monumental Services are a family-owned funeral service first established by the late Brian Mulligan in 1996. We provide funeral homes in Gorton, Manchester and Reddish, Stockport, and we pride ourselves on giving a friendly and professional service to all the families who use our service. Contact us on 0161 432 0809.
Founded in Kilkenny, Ireland in 1702, but lost on a bet on a horse race in Deauville, France, 1918. Sullivan's was re-established a few years ago by direct descendants of two great Kilkenny brewing families, the Smithicks and the Sullivans. We're about to embark on our own journey across the United Kingdom. But this time, we won't bet the brewery. Sullivan's. Brewing is in our blood.
Press the green button and visit the island of Ireland. See Ireland.com.
Welcome back. Now it's time to meet Margaret and Kevin Corrigan, who hail from Achill in County Mayo but live here in the UK. And they'll be telling us a story about their son Shane, who sadly passed away very suddenly at the age of 23.
So Shane was born on the 3rd of September 1994. He was amazing. He was born in Castlebar, but actually we're from Achill. But Kevin at the time was working in Saudi Arabia, so we were in Achill for I think 6 weeks. He went to Saudi Arabia in October, and we lived there for 5 years, and then we moved back to Castlebar. At that stage we had his sister Megan. We lived in Castlebar for a couple of years and then we moved to the UK. Shane was really sensitive, really caring, good fun. He had an amazing laugh. My sister would say she'll always remember his laugh because it would you'd hear him everywhere. He loved people, and even for me, I'd say to him to go down the shop and get some milk, and he'd be gone for ages, and you'd think, where have you gone? And you'd ask him when he came back, and he said, I was talking to so-and-so, and I was going, yeah, but you couldn't be that long. And he said, but I asked them how they were, so I had to listen to their response. So he really cared. He brought people together. in his time in Southampton, he went to university there. I know that it was a big thing to connect the Irish houses. Yeah. He was larger than life. He made people feel better. He didn't need to be needed. He was happy being Shane. He was a good brother. He was a good son. He was just lovely.
We got a call one evening. He was just starting his second year at university in Southampton. We got a call saying that he had a seizure. We went down to the hospital. He was diagnosed as epilepsy. He had ECGs, etc., etc., etc. He had actually 2 nodules because he was a twin. The other twin didn't survive, unfortunately. And he had 2 nodules in the brain that didn't actually go rolled across, and that's what actually used to cause the imbalance of the electric currents.
I mean, the only time Shane ever got worked up would be when a football match was on or something. He just was really laid back. So for him to have to deal with this, when he got diagnosed first, that was in September. He didn't go back to uni until after Christmas because his biggest fear was he didn't know when and where he would be when he'd have a seizure. And for him, he said, one of the hardest things about having epilepsy was telling people because they changed once you told them. So he would have said that you either had to care an awful lot or very little about them. He was lucky though, he didn't lose any friends. But it really did, it took its toll on him in the sense that he would have to watch what he drank. He couldn't drive anymore, which was a really big deal to him because he had various different jobs and he enjoyed driving. So all of that was taken from him. And I think people don't realise the impact that epilepsy has on people. He went back to university and he carried on. The second year, he had quite a lot of seizures, but in Shane's lifetime, he had no more than 20 seizures, which isn't a lot. In the final year, he only had 2. So it's kind of, and Shane's seizures didn't come on where you read about epilepsy and you're told about stress and everything else. Shane's were never as a result of stress. The day that Shane died was probably one of the, he was happy, everything was good in his world, he wasn't stressed. The year he'd done his masters, when you should be stressed, he didn't have any seizures at all. So it's just it's a weird condition, and because you don't know that much about it, we didn't give it the respect that it deserved, to be honest.
Now, Kevin, Shane is laid to rest, of course, in your native town in Achill in County Mayo. Why did you take him to Achill?
We really didn't know what to do, and to be honest, it was us being selfish. We said we can go back to my parents are in the same graveyard, Margaret's father's in the same graveyard, and uncles, and we thought he's buried amongst his own. But to be honest, Margaret did struggle a long time after whether we'd done the right thing or not. But that's where he's buried.
How is Megan, your daughter, and of course Shane's sister, coping with all this?
Megan's, every parent would say, both amazing children. She really struggles. She's a qualified primary school teacher now, and I actually phoned her the morning Shane died, and she came up to the hospital, and she carried on at university. She struggled, similar to Shane. She qualified, she got a first, really put a lot of effort into it. She got a job here and she loves what she does, but she does struggle at times. Her parts of her mental health, it does impact her, yes.
Time moves on and you want to keep Shane's memory with you and with all his friends. Now you've decided to do a cycle run from London to Achill in August. Now tell me how that come about.
It was just an idea, and I had one day while I was sitting in Knock Airport, I seen somebody that had done a similar bike ride, and I thought actually we could do that. Put it to a couple of our friends, and there's 20 amazing people going to do this, and actually none of them have been asked. They've all offered, they've all said they want to be part of this. None of us are, well, I would say maybe 3 or 4 are cyclists. the majority of us are just normal people. There's a couple that have been on bikes since they were kids, me included. So this is going to be a massive challenge for us. But it is that thing that we all feel passionate that actually people need to talk about epilepsy.
Yeah.
And people need to be aware that there is a risk of SUDEP. And the only way we're going to do that is if we go and do something. Anything is better than nothing.
Yeah.
At the moment, you never see an ad for epilepsy. You never see a leaflet for epilepsy. So we just want to, do what we can to raise money and to raise awareness. Awareness is really important because actually with epilepsy, you're at the mercy of the general public because you don't know where you're going to have that seizure. So if you were to fall on the floor in a shop, in a pub, at school, wherever that may be, it's the people around you that are going to help you. So, but they can't help you if they don't know what they need to do. And it isn't that they actually need to do anything other than to, make you feel secure and make you feel okay when you come out of that seizure, rather than be frightened by what has happened, because it is frightening to witness somebody having a seizure. In Shane's case, Shane was a big lad. When Shane had a seizure, it was frightening to see it. But what we do with him is just tell him it's going to be okay. And unfortunately, it always wasn't.
I'm just jealous of the angels around the throne tonight.
Kevin, you had a launch night for the cycle run at Nels in London.
Things happen in life and you don't know why they happen. Margaret met Vince Power, who's a big Irish music promoter. He offered to give the venue and he said he'd do the launch for Margaret. And we obviously had a couple meetings and discussions with him over the last 18 months probably. And finally we got the launch after lockdown, and we had a launch in Nels in West London. Interestingly, 16 of the 20 cyclists met, so a lot of them never met each other before, and that's when we realised this is going to be a good event. We raised about £6,500, I believe, which will all go to the charity, and it just brought the cyclists together and got some awareness going.
So we leave Harewood Downs on the 20th of August, and all going well, we will all arrive in Achill on the 27th of August. And we're doing it for SUDEP Action, which is a charity based in the UK, and Epilepsy Ireland. In the UK, if you have epilepsy, you can download an app onto your phone, and it's like a fitness app where you can monitor your condition, and you can say, I didn't have much sleep, I've got a headache, I was out drinking last night, and it will give you an indication as to what your risk is, and it'll also log that data for you, so that when you go to the doctor, you can give them something tangible. That doesn't exist in Ireland. If we can raise enough money, we can make it so that people in Ireland will be able to access that app. Everyone that's cycling knows what they're cycling for, and it's a legacy, it's something. So Shane will carry on helping people.
So we've got a GoFundMe page, it's Cycle for Shane. We have also got a communication pack which we're sending out to companies, so if there's any companies out there who would like to get involved. And we've also got an Instagram account so people can follow us all along the journey.
I'm just jealous of the angels around the throne tonight.
We wish Margaret and Kevin and all the team the very best of luck with their cycle run to Achill. And if you'd like to help or donate in any way, the details are on the screen now. Well, that's the end of the show for this week. Just to remind you, Henry McGlade is back with his show from County Mayo next Thursday evening at 7 o'clock, and we are here at 7:30 with the Irish in the UK. In the meantime, take good care and thank you for watching.